Alex Bregman is a Chicago Cub, and the Red Sox have to figure out what the hell they're going to do with their lineup. And in today's video, we are going to look at 4 Alex Bregman replacements, players that can come in, play in the infield, add a little bit of pop, and help get this Red Sox team in the right direction. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back into another edition of the Red Sox Rundown. I am your host, Jack. This is my 3rd time filming this video. The first 2 times I did it in studio with graphics and all the good, the stuff you know and love. But one of the replacements was Bo Bichette, and he is now a New York Met. So this is the 3rd time I have to film this video, and I am filming it in the home studio because I am off for the weekend. But this is my commitment to you guys. That's why you hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers by opening day. We're getting close to 9,000. So if you've not already, make sure you hit that subscribe button because I'm refilming videos from home when news happens. That's my commitment to you guys. And when the Red Sox make a move, we make a video. We were one of the first people to have a video when they signed Ranger Suarez. I filmed the Wilson Contreras trade video from a gas station parking lot as I was headed to the airport to go home for the holidays. I want to get you guys videos as soon as possible. That's why you hit that subscribe button. Don't miss out. Join the family today. So originally, my first replacement was Bo Bichette, but now he is a New York Met. That happened a few days ago. If you have not seen that, Kyle Tucker also, we have not talked about this in a video either, is also a Los Angeles Dodger. Actually, great news for the Red Sox because Kyle Tucker and Bo Bichette were both rumored to the Blue Jays, and the Yankees were involved, I believe, in Bo Bichette maybe a little bit as well. There's a lot of reports around the AL East. They ended up in the National League. That's really, really good news. So that's great. The Red Sox didn't get either of them, which sucks, but they're not in the AL East, which is a good thing. So let's start with Eugenio Suarez. I've got 1 free agency move, 3 trades. There's really not much in free agency left for the Red Sox. I know that there was some rumors about JT Realmuto. He just went back to the Phillies. So Eugenio Suarez really is the guy. And it's really ironic because a month ago I called him the worst case scenario. I said, you got to get Bregman. You got to get Bichette. You got to trade for Ketel Marte. If you're bringing in Eugenio Suarez, that is the worst case scenario. It's pretty ironic at this point that is the world that we live in. You look at the stats from last season and, you look at the OPS, 824, the 49 home runs, the 118 RBIs, the 126 OPS plus, and you say, Jack, why is that a worst-case scenario? Those stats are really damn good. Well, he hit 228. He had an average of 228, and he had 196 strikeouts. He is a strikeout merchant. All he does is either hit home runs or strike out, and that is not a player that I want in this lineup. The Red Sox have enough strikeout problems as it is. We know this. We saw this all last year with runners in scoring position. You'd have 1 out with runners on second and third, and then the next 2 batters would come up and they would both strike out in succession. We can't have that be the makeup of this lineup. And while Eugenio Suarez has a lot of pop and he would absolutely destroy balls over the green monster on the Lansdowne Street, I don't know if that's the right move. If they make the move, I'm not going to throw a fit because I'll take 50 home runs, obviously. I'm not going to not take 50 home runs, but the strikeout totals are concerning. 196 in 2025, 176 in 2024, 214 in 2023, which was the most in the league that he was in, 196 in 2022, which again was the most in his respective league, and 171 in 2021. That's just not a good trend. He can hit bombs. That's great. He's also not a great fielder either. And if he's going to be your third baseman, that doesn't help what you're trying to do here in Boston. You're trying to, if your whole goal is run prevention, it's not that. So I'm not going to complain if they sign him, but I'm not going to love it either. And the fact that this is the world we live in now, it makes me feel icky inside because it really was as simple as re-signing Alex Bregman, giving him the no-trade clause. It was that easy. Good defense, good pop at Fenway, relatively solid hitter with incredible leadership. Just give him the damn no-trade clause. But now he's a Chicago Cub. That's not the world that we live in. Will the Red Sox sign Eugenio Suarez? Type Y for yes if you think they do. Type N for no if you think they do not. I honestly don't know if they do because after the Ranger Suarez signing, they're already over the second CBT threshold. And if anything, I think they want to offload money, not add even more money. I really do think a trade is the best option, and we've got 3 trade candidates that we're going to talk about right now. Number 1 is Isaac Paredes. This is a name to watch, folks. I think there's a lot of smoke around the Red Sox trading for Isaac Paredes. John Heyman literally had this report a few days ago. The Red Sox are talking to Houston, which has an infield glut and could deal Isaac Paredes. That was a report from John Heyman. And it might be the best non-Bo Bichette option. He's got, relatively solid offensive stuff. 254 average last year, an 809 OPS, socked 20 home runs, 53 RBIs, 123 OPS plus, relatively solid player, relatively consistent player. He profiles well for Fenway. He really loves to pull the ball into the Crawford boxes in Houston. The Red Sox have the green monster at Fenway. If he profiles well to Houston, he's going to profile well to Boston. That's a really good sign. And he's a average-ish, maybe a little below average fielder, but he's better than Eugenio Suarez if we're comparing the two. He would be better. It's probably the best option. It probably is. However, there are concerns about how much it will cost. Jen McCaffrey had this to say on a potential Isaac Paredes trade. She said, if the Red Sox pivot to trade for Paredes, they may have to give up more than they'd like. Despite the surplus in the outfield, trading Duran for Paredes is an overpay, even if the Astros would jump at the opportunity. Rafaela could be on the table, but given his defensive importance to the club, it would also be hard to trade Rafaela for Paredes. If you got to trade one of those guys, I think it might be a bit of an overpay, but that just might be what it takes. At this point, they are desperate, and teams know that, and the other teams hold all of the leverage. So prepare for a world, folks. If Isaac Paredes is traded to the Red Sox, to see a Jarren Duran or a Ceddanne Rafaela attached. I don't think it would be Rafaela. I think Duran is the outfielder they want to move off of if they move off of an outfielder, but it's going to hurt. I don't think it's necessarily worth it, but if you're desperate and Isaac Paredes has a few years of team control left, that might be what it takes. So we'll see what happens. If a deal happens, we will make videos. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. This is my second reminder to you guys. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, because if the Red Sox make a trade, as soon as they make a trade, we will make a video. I've got Twitter notifications on my phone at all times. So if the Red Sox make a trade, we will make a video. So don't miss out. Hit that subscribe button. We're also going to have daily videos during the 2026 MLB season. And it might be the last baseball season we have for a while after that Kyle Tucker deal to the Dodgers. So lock in, hit that sub button, join us right now. Let's talk about Brendan Donovan, another player that has been linked to the Red Sox a lot this offseason. There is obviously the Chaim Bloom connection. They've already made 2 trades with the Cardinals this offseason, and it's an interesting prospect. Last year was a relatively solid year offensively for Donovan. 287 average, 775 OPS, 10 homers, 50 RBIs, and a 119 OPS plus. He does not offer you a lot of power. That is one thing, and that's why it's a bit of a turnoff for me, because the power profile's not there. He's also a lefty, and I get the point. It doesn't matter if they're lefty or righty as long as they can hit. But a lefty with no power potential, that's not real. I don't know if I want to trade for that. He's really good defensively. So if you're going all in on the run prevention, which is at least what they were saying they were going to do, or that's at least what the report was, then maybe that's the pivot they make. They sacrifice power. They bring in another lefty, but he's really good defensively. I mean, that would be a really good defensive infield. Meyer at third, Story at short, Donovan at second, Contreras at first. That's a really good defensive infield. And when you got ground ball rates like the Red Sox have, maybe they're willing to make that move. I wouldn't do it. I'd rather go for Paredes, unless there was a little wrinkle. Here's something Jen McCaffrey had to say that I found pretty interesting. The Red Sox likely won't trade one of their major leaguers like Duran or Rafaela for Donovan, and have traded several of their fringe pitchers this offseason for Gray, Contreras, and Johan Oviedo, thinning their reserves. Chaim Bloom, though, signed Masataka Yoshida in 2022, and the Red Sox would surely love to free up their designated hitter spot. But unless the Red Sox cover much of Yoshida's salary and also add in a top 20 prospect like left-hander Anthony Addison or infielder Henry Godbout, It seems like a far-fetched idea. But does it, though, Jen? Does it seem like a far-fetched idea? If you were to trade Masataka Yoshida, say a Henry Godbout, and some cash for Brendan Donovan, you offload some of that contract. You bring in Brendan Donovan, who could, be a contributor on this team. Maybe not with a lot of power, but good offense and good defense. It's interesting to think about. Henry Godbout's projected to have a monster year in the minors, so that would hurt. But I've said it all offseason. If you're going to offload Yoshida's contract, you're going to have to attach a prospect and cash. That's the risk you have to make. You could kill two birds with one stone here. You could free up the DH spot, thus keeping all four outfielders that you have. You could offload some of that money from Yoshida's contract, get off of that, at this point we can call it a really not good contract, and you bring in a player that, again, doesn't have a good power profile, but plays really good defense, which you're trying to improve, and hits the ball for contact relatively well. It's at least something to think about. Do I think they'll do it? I'm not so sure. I don't know if Chaim Bloom would be willing to do that. But it's an interesting idea from Jen McCaffrey. I just thought I'd throw it out there. Would you make that trade? I'll go over the details again one more time. The Red Sox receive Brendan Donovan. The Cardinals receive Masataka Yoshida, Henry Godbout, and a bunch of cash. T for trade if you would. P for pass if you would not. You let me know down below in the comments. Let's finish it out with Nico Hoerner, second baseman for the Cubs. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because Jeff Passan had a report a few days ago that the Giants were aggressively pursuing Hoerner and Donovan, which is interesting. There have been reports that the Cubs have said, no, we're not trading Hoerner. He's younger, but he's only a year away from free agency. So he's a rental. Would you want to do that? I don't know. But it'd be pretty ironic, wouldn't it? If you let Alex Bregman go to the Cubs and then you call up the Cubs and you're like, hey, so we didn't get Bregman. Could we have one of your guys to take play? Could we give you something to then take back a replacement for Breg? Again, this whole thing is super duper ironic and would just be really. I would be sick to my stomach if they traded for Nico Hoerner. Just the optics of it would not be good. Offensively, he's profiles a lot like Brendan Donovan. Really solid contact-wise, has no power potential. His last 4 years, 2022, career high 10 home runs. 9 home runs in 2023, 7 home runs in 24 and 25. There's no power there at all. But he's elite defensively. And if you are really trying to go all in on run prevention, that might be the move. It might be the move. However, Hoerner, at least from all reports, is going to take an arm and a leg to trade for. So do you want to do that if you can't guarantee an extension? Because, again, he's a rental. Do you want to trade an arm and a leg for Nico Hoerner for his elite defense? Much like Brendan Donovan, I find that to be a little bit rich. I don't think I would do it because he's not offering what the Red Sox are looking for. He's offering the elite defense, but offensively, which is what the Red Sox were looking for all offseason, was prime offense. He's not doing that. The only player of these that does that is Isaac Paredes. He really is the best option that we have. Eugenio Suarez hits bombs, plays horrible defense, and strikes out way too much. Brendan Donovan, good defense, doesn't hit for power at all. Nico Hoerner, elite defense, doesn't hit for power at all. Isaac Paredes, while he's an average defender, still profiles well for Fenway, hits the ball good for contact as well. He might be the lesser of all evils at the end of the day. I don't know. I don't know if I would do this. Nico Hoerner, really exciting player. There's been some comps to Pedroia. I don't think I would do this at the end of the day, though, because from everything we've heard, all the reports we've heard, it's going to take an arm and a leg to land him. And I don't think I'm willing to do that for a rental that can't hit home runs. That's how I'm going to end it, folks. Last question I have for you guys. Name a player you want to replace Alex Bregman. I put out a poll on Twitter. I can actually look at it right now. Let me take a look. Let me take a look. I was not prepared for this. I did this on the fly. Right now, 62% of people are voting Isaac Paredes. I put all 4 of these options in a Twitter poll. Isaac Paredes, Brendan Donovan, Eugenio Suarez, Nico Hoerner. 62% vote for Isaac Paredes. 0% Brendan Donovan, 14% Eugenio Suarez, and 24% Nico Hoerner. But you let me know. Name a player you want to replace Alex Bregman. I want to hear your thoughts down below in the comments. That's where we're going to end it, guys. Real quick, I'm just going to plug. I put up that poll on my Twitter or X account. Everyone's getting mad at me for calling it Twitter. It's always been Twitter to me, so it's just force of habit. I'm always going to call it Twitter. All you weirdos, I know it's X. Just relax. Go follow me over on my X account or my Twitter account, whatever you want to call it. I've linked it down below in the comments and description. I posted that poll over there a few days ago to gauge where Red Sox Nation was thinking. I post polls, info, everything over there. It's the best place if you want. Also, if you want to reach out to me via DM, that's also the best place to reach out to me as well. So go over there, follow me on Twitter/X. Don't miss out on any of the coverage over there. And again, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you've not already. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Hopefully I don't have to film this video again. And until next time, go Sox.